Belvoir. Welcome to Belvoir in the Know, the only podcast created especially for the Fort Belvoir community to stay in the know, on the go. I'm Command Sergeant Major Greg Kleinholz, the Garrison Command Sergeant Major.
I'm Colonel Josh Seagraves, the Garrison Commander. This month, we're observing the month of the military child. More than 1.7 million children have at least one parent serving in the military, and an estimated 900,000 children have had one or both parents deployed multiple times over the last 10 years. In this episode, we'll talk with Fort Belvoir School Liaison Officer, Ms. Kristen Acquah, who will provide information about programs available to support our military kids and some month of the military child events happening on Fort Belvoir. So, Kristen, thank you for joining us and welcome to the Belvoir in the Know podcast. Let's just start by, for our listeners who may not be familiar with school liaison officers, tell us how you support military families who have school-age children.
Well, thank you, sir, for first inviting me on this podcast. Our office supports our military families. We assist with transitions of military life to facilitate those communications with parents, schools, and the installation leaders. We also provide post-secondary opportunities and educate school and youth professionals on youth sponsorships, student ambassador programs, to support with transitioning of installation and providing sense of belonging for our youth for their new environment. Lastly, we have a variety workshops for parents for transitional concerns, such as kindergarten readiness and understanding the military interstate of educational opportunity for military children, which is better known as the MIG-3. So more information on that is found on Military One Source, as well as our CYS Belvoir Facebook page.
Wow, we got a lot to cover. Good rundown. Good rundown. So this month we're celebrating military kids. What events and activities can families look forward to?
We have lots of events and activities that families can look forward to. One, I want to thank the command team for visiting some of our CYS programs, and I know we have on the schedule with Fort Belvoir Elementary School visits. The feedback from your book readings, I believe you and Deputy Commander have both been out there, has been very phenomenal and most appreciated. So currently we are participating in our annual Young Lives Big Stories for military connected students, sharing those stories of what it means to be a military connected kid and what you can do for families who are interested in this and wanted to do the contest. You can inquire on armymwr.com at Young Lives Big Stories and submit your entries. The other thing we have for our middle school and teen population is Operation Megaphone, which will be hosted on the 29th of April from 2:30 to 5:30. The Youth Center has lots of activities already established for kids. They're tying it in with their pizza day as well. But we ask that parents do connect with the Youth Center and getting their kids involved and engaged. Lastly, we do have our CDCs participating in our kinder tours for Fort Belvoir Primary. We just had a successful one today with South Post CDC. I'm asking parents if they want more information on it to connect with the schools, with the centers about that. So they will connect with their CYS CDC on those kinder tours. And then we also have just in general, just connecting with the centers have their own individual activities that they have going on in their facilities with special events and programmings. So we ask that you definitely reach out to those facility directors and program managers.
Yeah, that's awesome. I tell you, there are so many great resources and services available for students that have, evolved over my last, 29 years that, from when my kids, partook in them, throughout the years. And so you have some great stuff going on. So what are the programs that are available for high school students?
That's a great question, Command Sergeant Major. We have tons of programs for our high school students. One in particular is our secondary workforce program, which allows our high school students who are enrolled in early childhood education to receive a full credit through completing a practicum with CYS and then providing a potential job opportunity for them at the end of that course. So that's one that we find near and dear to us, and we are definitely spearheading. We also have tutor.com for those students that are preparing for secondary or post-secondary education opportunities, which is available for all of our uniformed service members as well as DoD civilians. And if they want more information on it, they can go to military.tutor.com and register and enroll in that program. And then lastly, we do have on the 28th of April, the virtual college and career fair workshop, where teens and parents will gain information on the GI Bill and the the yellow ribbon to address those universities and colleges and how to support that. But I am encouraging families to connect with me through the MWR school support services if they have an interest in that, so that we can get them on the right path of registering.
Yeah, that's awesome because that's a big adventure that the parents and the children are going into. So, having as much information as possible, I think will definitely prepare them for their next steps. So thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow. A lot going on, which is good in a good way, right? So the other thing that's upon us is PCS season. And, many kids and families are going to transition to new locations, including new schools, maybe some transitioning types of schools, middle school or high school, at a new location, which can be obviously more challenging. So what are the top 3 things that you would want parents to know about that?
So the top 3 things I would love for parents to know is currently there's a lot of bridging ceremonies that we're having, especially for you to touch on the middle school transition into high school, or even elementary going into middle. So we've been doing a lot of bridging all the way down to the CDCs, just so that those families and those students feel supported in that new environment. But the first thing I would love to address is the military interstate educational opportunity for military children. What it focuses on is that enrollment, placement and attendance, eligibility, and on-time graduation. And one thing that I've learned in this role is that eligibility when it comes to extracurricular activities. So schools have the flexibility to facilitate inclusion regardless of that application deadline. So what that means with the MIC3 and how it supports is having those early conversations with the schools and families, and connecting those military connected students with coaches and instructors prior to them coming, so that they can meet those extracurricular needs. The second thing I would love to share is the Virginia Advanced Enrollment, which allows military families to enroll in the county 120 days prior to them physically being in the county. The huge win, I would say a huge win that we recently just discovered, is that Fairfax County has actually waived all their transfer fees. So there are no more transfer fees within the county, which is very supportive for our military community, for those members that live outside of the installation, because as we know, they live in, some have temporary housing as they're getting their permanent addresses. And this was very impactful last PCS season, but now they don't have to worry about that. So if they know they're in temporary housing and they have a permanent residence that will be coming up shortly, they don't have to worry about paying a $100 transfer fee. That is completely waived for our military families. And then the last thing I want to share is our homeschool support. So we have a great partnership within CYS with the Belvoir Home Educators group on the installation, where we support with providing them a facility to do some of their co-op courses, as well as health and fitness opportunities. So I encourage, if anyone is looking at homeschool, because we know that has changed with a lot of people's choices for school options, please reach out to the Belvoir Home Educators Facebook page, as well as our Belvoir CYS Facebook page.
Yeah. Wow. Good. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good changes coming up too. So I mean, especially the waiver of the fee, I know that's going to impact a lot of families. So that's good. So everyone who's planning to participate in Spirit Week, what can you give our listeners like what type of breakdown of each day can you provide, and what are the dates?
Yes, so Spirit Week is coming up next week. It is April 18th through April 22nd. Monday will be your red, white, and blue pajama day. So I do want to put it out there that it is pajamas. And Tuesday is camo day. Wednesday is Virginia's designated purple up day. So we are asking for a sea of purple across the county and the installation, where we actually celebrate Month of the Military Child. Thursday is What's Your MOS? So we're asking for students and children to dress up what they would love to be as their career field when they get older. And then Friday is Red Day. So we're remembering everyone deployed, and we're asking everyone to wear red. If you forget, it's on the CYS Belvoir page.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a good reminder, just to pull it up on the website. Hey, so wow, that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. However, I'm going to ask one more question. Sort of what are your alibis, or what else would you like to share with the audience?
Well, I would love to share, as you are aware, Commander, like CYS, we're trying to get back up and running, and we are doing a huge recruitment for child and youth program assistants, and summer employment positions are going to be available, those seasonal flex positions, part-time positions, full-time positions. The announcement is currently already on USA Jobs. Individuals would just have to put in Fort Belvoir, and the announcement is there. We're also recruiting family child care providers as well to open up additional FCC homes. If that's something that someone who loves education, loves working with children, if you're interested in it, please feel free to give our Parent Central Services their contact, give them a call, I'm sorry. And the number is 703-805-5555 or 5556. And you can ask to speak with the family child care director, and she will definitely be hands-on working with you and preparing and getting your home ready for inspection and ready to open. We also have youth sports that is coming back, which a lot of families are extremely excited about, but we do have a need for coaches as well. So we are asking that we get more volunteers. And then the $1 million thing that I would love to say is, how do you get in contact with me as a school liaison officer? So getting on MWR School Support Services and clicking on that contact me link sends me a direct email if you need any questions or concerns. I can receive everything from there. And then my phone number is 703-416-9976 if you need to contact me directly.
Great. That's great. We'll post all that in the comments so people have it as well if they didn't catch it on the Audible. But wow, well done. So Kristen, thanks very much. I appreciate it. And I think we'll leave it there. So Sergeant Major and Kristen, we've come to the end of another great episode. Thank you for joining us. Any final thoughts, Sergeant Major?
Yes, sir. Over the years, a lot of things have changed. And, thanks for the team for continuing to adapt to our different environment as technology has increased. But I'll tell you one thing that hasn't changed is the need to take care of the military child. So, thanks for the entire team for, putting this at the forefront, not only during the month of April, but really all year long. So, Kristen, thanks to you and the team, and, thanks for our community for having such an engaging time with the schools and their family. It'll pay off in the long run. So thanks for another great episode, sir.
All right. Thanks, Sergeant Major. Thank you, Kristen. A lot of great information for our listeners. So greatly appreciate it. Remember, folks, connect with us on our social media platforms and on the Digital Garrison app for all things Belvoir. If you haven't signed up, sign up for that Digital Garrison app, download it, make Fort Belvoir your installation of choice. And on that app, you'll find more information about the resources and events we've discussed in this episode, and of course, much, much more. So thank you for joining us. From me to you, and now you know.